Hello and welcome to the Quest for AI. This is the second episode, so I'm going to be going over a couple changes that I've made to my programs. Only really slight changes, not too big, but I'll show you them. Now here, these are the changes I've made to the JuiceBot, so that's it before, and this is the newer program version of it, and what you'll notice is that looks very different to what it was last time. So this is coded with a coding method called linear. Now basically that just goes from the top to the bottom, that's it. And it's simple if you're starting off, and it's easy to do for small programs, but for bigger programs it can get very messy because you're going to need to repeat calculations and processes hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. So you can't just be doing this, because if you want to repeat something, you either have to just write it again like I've done here. So I've done 4 of these for loops and 4 of these if statements here. So you either do that, or you do a loop of loops, which can get very confusing. Say if you've got 5 layers of loops, which would be extremely hard to keep track of and make massive programs which would take up a lot of storage space. So what this is in what's called object-oriented programming. So I'm going to expand this. And the thing is, this is a lot more space efficient because it runs off these things called functions. That's the things with the defs before them. Runs off these things called functions which keep repeating when you call them. So I'll go through this now. So again, import random like last time, and when it says a class, that's basically just a container for functions, and variables will be able to be accessed by all of these functions if you define them here. So our first function will almost always be an init function, which defines things that will be used throughout the class. So again, make your list and print the same statements as last time. It says about the weighting you're going to be asked to enter to do with different drinks, and again prints that warning that your weightings have to add up to 100. So let's have a look at this function now. This is the function that asks the user to put in their weightings, and it stores them in the list. So the thing is, it says here, print current drink is plus drink. Now what's that? Now the thing is, that will be different every time, because every time this function runs, a new drink name is being passed into there. So where does it get that from? Well, it gets it from here. And whenever you need a new thing to be passed into a function, you put it in here. So where does that get that from? Well, down at the bottom of the program. This is what they call the main program. And this is where you call the functions and you make them run. So this is the call for the drink one. I made this list here. So put a for loop here. So every time, so for 4 times, this function will run, and every time the drink will be different. And here's where I say it should run the function. So run.drink weightings, and in that bracket is what will go up to the other bracket up there. And as you can see, I've set that to whatever is being pointed to in the list at the time. So first it'll point to tea, and that'll pass into there, pass up there. Then it'll be water, that'll pass into there, which will pass up there. So every time this function will be different. And then also you've got the weighting function here that adds the weightings to the list, and now you're passing in the symbol. And again, I've got a list of symbols down there which changes each time. I've also got an end value, which is just a counter which changes, so I can make 2 loops. Then I've got this function which calculates the outcome and it prints the drink that's been chosen. That's it really. So I'll run this now and show you it working. enter my weightings again. Sorry, I hold down enter too much. I need to click it quicker. Oh, bloody hell. The sensitivity on this is way too high. I can't hover on the enter key at all. Okay. And see, it's printed out the list. That's just a bit of a glitch, but I'll fix that. And it's chosen water, which is a realistic choice. So that's that. I'm very proud of that. That's a lot more efficient now, and it doesn't save much efficiency right now, but if I wanted to make that much bigger, the efficiency save would be massive, massive. And I've also made some changes to the Detectivebot. If you don't know what this is or what the other bot was, you'll have to watch the other episode where I go through what exactly they do. So you see, this is the version I showed you last time, where it just says a crime has been committed, tries to activate the bot, and the bot can either refuse and go to spoons, and you tell it off, or it solves the crime. And this is the one that learns, so each time if you tell it off, the chance of it refusing to solve the crime gets lower. But what I've done to improve it is I've made it a little bit more sort of practical, so it actually solves the crime and its conclusion is influenced by you. So I've added an extra thing here. Someone has been bludgeoned by a masked man, and then you activate it, and it either says that it was a woman holding a wait a second, I'll expand this. It was a woman holding a coat with both hands, which is obviously wrong because it was a man, and if someone bludgeons someone, you'd expect them to be holding a bat and not be masked. So that's obviously wrong. Or it concludes that it was the man wearing the balaclava holding a baseball bat, which is obviously much more realistic. So if you say to the program, no, that's not who it was that, when it loops around again, it will have a lower chance of getting the wrong answer again. So I'll run this now. No, just got it wrong. So I'll say to the program, it's not the right answer, mate. And then I'll have to activate it again. It's rather unlikely, but again, it's possible that it makes the wrong decision again, but this time it shouldn't make the wrong decision a third time. It should be impossible. Hopefully. I've got a bit of a problem here. I'll either solve that next episode, or I will, if you give me 10 seconds now, I'll try and solve that quickly, but if I can't solve it quickly, I'll just end the video, it's fine. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so I may have fixed this now. As well as lessening D by 25, I've also added 25 onto S, because I think the problem was that I was trying to call a position in the list which was out of range, because this goes up to 100, but if I take 25 off D, then the list, the total size of the list is actually less than 100. So if what I'm calling is like more than 50, then that'll cause an error. I should have seen that actually that was